Good afternoon and welcome to our new SAP Tech Talks webinar. A few words regarding the event organization. The webinar will be recorded and then posted on our YouTube channel. You may ask all your questions in the Q&A field. Our today's speaker is Oleksandr Ardashov, and the topic of his webinar is Building Future-Ready Enterprises with SAP Build Process Automation. Oleksandr, the floor is yours.
Hi, hello everyone. Thank you for joining. So today I'm going to talk and to explain how to build future-ready enterprise with help of the SAP products. That would be our topic, but first I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Oleksandr, and I have more than 15 years, experience in developing and delivering SAP products. Basically, I started from SAP NetWeaver portal and then slightly moved to SAP Cloud products. So for now, I'm focusing more on SAP BTP platform in different environments like Cloud Foundry, Kima, and ABAP environments, and all services are hosted with the SAP BTP platform. It is kind of my focus. So today's agenda is I'm going to talk a bit our use case, not our use case, but use case we had and we have implemented. Basically, the first topic would be to introduce why we basically decided to start this session and to share with you that use case. And also, having the use case, that would be, I believe, interesting to deep dive more into how we design the solution, how it works in runtime, how it is available to the end users, what's behind of the solution, so how architecture looks like, what kind of services we have used, what kind of services we have built, how users getting an access to this, and basically how the solutions like this may look like. And of course, to sum up, few key takeaways why we decided to go this way and what at the end we got. The first topic is basically why we decided to share with you our use case and kind of solution we have built. So basically, as an EPAM team and as part of the team who usually respond on different requests coming from the market, we noted that partially it is we have requests well defined. So, for example, if we kind of try to understand what kind of technology needs to be implemented or needs to be considered in client's environment, then from those requests we understand that this request is related to S/4HANA. That is clear because based on the scope, we understand that it should be ERP implementation. Other type of the requests are related to the integrations. So whenever more than one system, let's say, is mentioned, and whenever we see that there should be interaction between systems, that is the integration topic, and for that we have dedicated SAP products, and we know how to process those kind of tickets. Also, we noted quite high demand related to the operations, so all topics related to CI/CD, how to work with the from SAP point of view, modern solutions, because as you know, ABAP environment has its own delivery methods. Cloud solution has a slightly different approach. And clients want to understand how now it should work. Analytics solution also quite clear. So whenever report or dashboard is required, then it will be the analytics solution. But quite interesting topic we usually receive is SAP BTP. So it's kind of literally header SAP BTP. We need a team who can implement SAP BTP. And moving back to moving forward to what's kind of behind the platform, or what's kind of behind of this request is required. We mostly understand that clients want to get an overview of the platform. So it's hard to most of the clients to understand what is the part, what kind of area SAP platform and what kind of role SAP BTP platform should play in their environment, in their solution. And kind of most of the requests we have related to SAP, and interested topic is overview session. So then covering this gap, so I want to introduce one of the solution which can be considered as a use case for SAP BTP platform, and basically having request like related to the use case, which I will share with you a bit later. We would understand that, okay, this is the use case for SAP BTP platform, and we need certain part of the team setup. Yeah, so about use case. Let's imagine that I'm an owner of a big company. Big company sell some product, and as usually it happens that if I want to, so world is global, and if I want to sell something, then there are two stages needs to be done. So first I need to come up what exactly I want to sell. The second step is to produce everything. And our use case is basically about this part. So how to come up is usually head office. And my head office is located somewhere in the center of the Europe. And I have kind of big team who do innovation, investigations, who basically make a requirement how product should look like. But usually, as we well know, product itself produced somewhere outside the Europe, and mostly it is Asia. And for me, it is kind of external factories which I need to interact somehow. And my use case is I have an idea. I know what needs to be produced, what kind of product I want to sell, and I want to order the production of my goods. So basically, that part is usually done in ERP system, and in ERP system we have purchase order concept, sales order concept, and everything related to production and sales activities are tracked and stored in the ERP system. And that is kind of quite a good approach. That is well-known approach. But the problem is that once our relationship established and some changes, some amendment needs to be done. So, for example, I know that I have a forecast that I want to sell next year some amount of pieces of my shoes or of my goods. Then basically I place order that I want to request from factory 1, from factory 2, from factory 3, this amount of goods and products, and I know that it will be delivered on time. But market has changed, and now I understand that I need either to reduce or increase amount of produced products. Then basically I need to do adjustment in my purchase orders to inform that factory that okay, with this purchase order I need either to produce more or I need to I want to have these products delivered earlier or later. So basically, this kind of communication and this kind of relationship with the factory, it's kind of not easy to do. And we understand that it needs to be, we need a system where me as an owner of the company would be able to, first of all, make this adjustment, then track these adjustments, then it should be visible to the factories itself, to the external organizations. They need to understand that okay, I had these conditions in the past. Now it is changing, and they should have an option to confirm, reject, or if reject, then explain why it was rejected this way. We did the analysis of the requirements. We did the analysis of what is required by my company, and basically certain products were introduced to me as a solution to cover all demand which I have. And central component in this solution, it is SAP Build Process Automation tool. This tool provides an option to basically make business flow, which would help me to make adjustments, to do all the amendments which I would require. Another tool, which is basically embedded tool, it is business rules. And with business rules, I easily can adjust certain conditions, business conditions, where I can reroute my requests, where I can pre-approve based on certain conditions my requests, where I can kind of block or reject or resend or escalate my requests based on the certain conditions. And usually I don't need to request adjustments in the code itself, in the solution itself. So that I would like to use some tool, some kind of the business rules tool, where I could put some conditions, and based on this condition, I would like to get that or another one behavior. The tool, like process visibility, its tool helps me to understand more deeply how is my business works, how my business works. So whether I have some delays, whether my SLAs are okay, what happened with that ticket, with another ticket, what was the answer or response from factory, or what basically happened. So this will bring transparency to my business flows. And SAP Build Work Zone, it is basically well known as SAP Launchpad. It is central component which gives an access, role-based access to all my applications and allow me to interact with the system. Basically, as an outcome, once the solution is offered and implemented, then my company has quite good framework to understand how my business works. I can understand what kind of processes are critical, how many processes were requested. I can analyze if it is my flow is adjustment of already established kind of interaction or interconnection with the external factories. So now I have the transparency of what is happening outside of my organization. And moving forward, so as I promised, I will show a few examples what we have used during the design time and how it works on runtime. As I already mentioned, we have SAP Build Process Automation tool, and basically this tool allows to set up flow itself, set up conditions, how my flow will be routed, who will process that or another task, how the escalation will work, what kind of SLA will be applied for certain steps. Yeah, basically this tool is kind of classical business process management tool where I can define business process. Along with the workflow management tool, Build Process Automation service also have RPA functionality or feature enabled. So some routine tasks like go through mails, check local files, create from set of the information PDF are usually done by the RPA tool. So it is kind of robotic process automation tool. SAP Build Process Automation has already predefined templates. So it is organized by LOB, by line of businesses, by templates, by business flows. So there are certain benefits to use the templates. First of all, if template is completely suitable for my needs, I can have already implemented flow, and even more, this flow will be part of the agreement with SAP. So SAP also support default templates. If something doesn't work, then I have I can open a ticket and SAP will help me to solve my issues. Another cool feature that if even those templates are not completely suited to my needs, I always can open flows which are more or less comparable to my needs and suitable to my needs, and at least check how it is implemented, how it is organized. So I can copy the existing template, make it custom, and I would not need to. So I already have something from where I can start. I don't need to start from the very beginning, from scratch. Another cool feature of the Build Process Automation is seamless integration with Signavio. Signavio, it is a tool provided by SAP, which is usually used during discovery phase. So all outcomes are done during discovery phase, and quite often discovery phase, one of the deliverable of the discovery phase, it is well-defined business flows. Those business flows can be imported into Build Process Automation tool, so there is no need to redesign this the flow itself. It can be imported from Signavio. That what was good with this tool. Basically, of course, as I'm customer, I use tool, so I do not sell it and I use it. I can also note some disadvantage of this tool. So comparing with the major players on the market, SAP Build Process Automation tool is not mature enough. So sometimes we we were lacking the proper error handling. Sometimes we were lacking the proper task reassignment. Sometimes we were lacking transparency, how business transparency, how flow works. Yeah, so I would say comparing with other tools, if you don't have in your landscape SAP systems, then it's kind of not always optimal solution. But if you have in your landscape SAP tools, then most probably Build Process Automation, and if discovery was done with the scenario, then it is, I would say, good decision to use this tool. I have already mentioned that we widely use business rules. So with business rules, we define policies, we define conditions. Based on certain conditions, some outcome can be made, or some based on certain input parameters, some decisions can be made. So in our case, we have certain type of factories which could be managed by another companies, and based on that, we define how request can be handled. Will request be handled by factory itself, or it will be handled by another company which kind of responsible for this factory, which manages this factory. Of course, business rule has native implementation with workflow. It is important part that the rules itself are available not only from the UI, but this tool has its own API. So API can be used to set up, to read rules, and yeah, kind of along with the UI setup, API can be used. Another cool feature that business rules has its own versioning concept. So every time when user changes the rule, the new version is created, and it is always possible to roll back to the previous setup and yeah, to roll back to the previous setup, or to review how it was defined in the past. Again, some not that pleasant things which we noted with the business rules. This tool is kind of quite obvious, needs to be used by business, but still it requires to have a powerful user who understand what they do, who understand that they should not change the other things, the other configurations, so only rules can be changed, and it is hard to let's say fine-tune the permission level of each users to this tool. Yeah, and business rules unfortunately requires advanced user license. It is a bit more expensive than the standard license, but yeah, unfortunately, business rule requires this type of license. So moving forward to cloud application programming model. So basically, SAP BTP has, let's say, its own framework, which is widely used to set up or to define different type of the extensions. And this framework called Cloud Application Programming Model, so CAP in short. CAP framework used in different type of the extensions. So it could be like S/4HANA side-by-side extension scenario. It could be a workflow extension scenario. So, for example, we used Cloud Application Programming Model to design a full stack application. With full stack application, we have middleware, so service layer. This service layer is used by workflow. So if I need to communicate with external systems like S4HANA or like with any other system, then the custom module, custom service was defined with help of the Cloud Application Programming Model, and workflow just call the service, and service do the next thing what is needed. CAP widely leverage CDS language or CDS approach. The CDS approach is used in CAP, as I already mentioned, and also is used in app extensions, extensibility scenarios of the S4HANA. It means that developers who knows how to do in-app extension of the S4HANA will not be surprised what's happening in CAP, at least from data modeling perspective. So data modeling approach is quite similar with all the solution across SAP. And as I already mentioned, we use CAP framework to be consumed from workflow API or to call workflow API. So it is bidirection integration or relationship. And yeah, CAP, of course, can be bound or can be linked with different SAP services like destination services, like scheduling services, like user authentication authorization services. So this is the kind of central component how to combine all the BTP services in one place. That was kind of from a design point of view. And basically how it looks like at the end for the end users. For the end users, everything what was set up, of course, is available through web applications, and not only through web applications, but through another one services which are available on SAP BTP platform. One of the service is a SAP Task Center. So with the SAP Task Center, we allow user to get an access to tasks they receive based on the workflow assignment rules and based on the workflow assignment flows. SAP Task Center, it's not only a tool which provide an access to tasks itself. This is the central point of access to all tasks which are sent from different systems. So it could be S4HANA, it could be Build Process Automation, it could be Salesforce. So all SAP products has connection to or has connection to SAP Task Center and can post the tasks which are created for end user to the task center, and those tasks are available from the central point to the user. So user don't need to go to different places and collect to remember that okay, I didn't process some task in S4HANA, and now I need to log into S4HANA and do need it. So this central tool designed as a service and available as a service and designed to combine all messages posted by different systems. Another kind of big benefit Task Center gives us is access with the groups defined in different different IDP providers. So usually in big companies like mine company, we do not keep users in one certain system. We have different systems like identity providers, like identity and access management systems, where all users are set up, defined, and groups assigned to those users. So Task Center basically can consume those groups from external identity providers and can leverage the assignment which is already done. Doesn't matter whether it is for SAP products, for Microsoft products, for Azure products, for Oracle products, doesn't matter. So yeah, as I already mentioned, this tool designed to combine all messages in one place, to get messages in one place, so that it's not a big surprise, but this tool is hardly it's hard to adjust, or it's hard to set up this tool for all possible scenarios and for all possible custom attributes or parameters. And for example, if I receive a task from S4HANA, definitely I will not see the filter option for custom properties. I will not see custom property in the list. So for that, I would need to do some extra actions to get it, to have it available. It is still possible, but unfortunately, it requires some extra effort from the user. Prods visibility, as I already mentioned, it is kind of good tool to understand how my business works. So if there are a lot of red, then definitely something wrong with either my business or with the business prods I have defined. So it might be both cases. So I was really over optimistic, and I defined, for example, quite short SLA for certain activities. And here I could see that, okay, it's not possible because my SLAs are always failed. Or, for example, I have group who, for some reason, do not process their task, do not do their job, and that means that this tool helps me to identify action points to be done to mitigate all possible scenarios. So Prods Visibility tool to bring transparency to my business users, bring transparency to headquarters, bring transparency to factories. So this is the analytical tool where I can get information about all the processes and tasks. Yeah, as it is analytical solution, so be careful with the diagrams because even though this tool has its own database with already pre-aggregated tasks, still diagrams might be heavy. Calculation data loaded to the tool itself can be large, and be careful with the amount of data and make sure that you introduce and you use really kind of needed diagrams. Moving back to SAP Cloud, SAP CAP framework. So basically, as I mentioned, CAP framework helps us to define and to design full stack applications, and basically UI part was also designed with CAP framework. By UI part, we defined how each and every task will look like. So if there are certain attributes needs to be shown to the user, and they definitely would need to be shown, and the needed UI was done to show attributes, for example, related to purchase orders, because our use case and scenario, purchase order adjustments or purchase order amendment, it means that we need to show the purchase order itself, the common attributes for the purchase order, and basically what we are going to change them. And it needs to be transparent and visible to the user what they are basically going to do and what kind of changes to be expected, and how to what exactly I need to approve or I need to reject. If I need to reject, then I need to provide some evidence or some feedback why I did so. Yeah. So basically, the task itself is opened from the task center and provides to the end user, shows to the end user all attributes related to the task itself. Basically, it is, one more time, it is designed with the CAP framework, Fiori guidelines were used or taken into account. And yeah, unfortunately, as it is custom development, then first of all, the UI needs to be developed separately, and it requires some effort to link to certain steps its own UI or shared UI. And keep in mind that we have, for example, one UI which is shared across the steps, and we need to make sure that on each and every step we are showing the proper data. Okay, from architectural point of view, I have already mentioned that we used BTP platform, so it is SAP BTP platform, and Cloud Foundry environment, runtime. Certain services we had to subscribe to bring and to deliver our basically solution. One of the service, it is WorkZone, SAP WorkZone service. As I already mentioned, this service provides Launchpad or provides, let's say, portal-like look and feel, how a user gets an access to the application. And as an application, here we have Task Center. It is, even though it is another service, but this service comes with the UI, and UI is available through the WorkZone. Again, WorkZone, its legacy name, it is SAP Launchpad. It has two types of the subscription. It is standard edition, and standard edition looks like Launchpad with set of tiles, and advanced edition. Advanced edition more closer to portal solution. So it has more broad functionality than just standard Launchpad. But with that, we have SAP Task Center available, certain custom applications which we define to instantiate process, to handle process, certain applications which are related to mass processing. Also, already mentioned SAP Process Automation. SAP Process Automation, it is set of the engines, set of the tools. One of them, central tool, is workflow engine, business rules, and process visibility. As a persistence layer, we use offering provided by SAP. It is SAP HANA Cloud. and set of the services which are which we defined custom services, which we defined with help of the CAP framework. Those services can be used and leveraged by Build Process Automation, or those services may call Process Automation. All these communications are done with the API calls. Again, we have certain services which communicate with S/4HANA on-premise edition. They can communicate directly through S/4HANA with one type of the interface. They can communicate with API management. And as I already told, that we have identity provider. Basically, it is Microsoft Azure Identity Provider, which gives us a set of the users and their groups, which are who will have an access to our application. And our solution used our solution implemented with the SAP products, but not limited with them. One of the example is Microsoft Azure platform, where we have IDP service, and another one product, it is AWS S3 bucket, where all the attachments are stored. And yeah, basically key takeaways. Basically, I have started that behind SAP BTP and behind SAP BTP overview, we don't know what exactly clients or companies usually want to request or want to ask. So SAP Build Process Automation is one of the good or even best use case of the BTP platform. Build Process Automation consists from not only workflow engine, but also business rules, visibility rules, and intelligent RPA. So intelligent RPA, it's kind of our robots which usually work on client side. Yeah, and solution helps to automate business processes, to automate decisions are done with the business processes, and help to increase the visibility of what's happening in the company and how business works, how many SLAs are breached, and so on, and answer on lots of hot questions and hot topics. Few useful links I would like to suggest. So first of all, it is help portal, where you can get technical, non-technical information, but mostly technical information about tool itself. Different set of the tutorials, kind of good option to go through all of them to understand more deeply how the tool looks like and what kind of capabilities this tool can cover. And in Discovery Center, first another one set of useful links is provided, and costs. So in Discovery Center, you can check how much it costs. Yeah, that's it from.
Oleksandr, thank you for such an informative presentation. I think right now we can get down to the Q&A section. We have a few questions. The first question, is it possible to do process mining in SAP, log events in processes, and identify bottlenecks?
Not sure what's behind process mining in SAP. But basically, bottlenecks, yes, of course, it's possible to identify that with the process visibility, so you can always check and understand how your processes are working. Log events, it's kind of depends on what kind of the events. If we talk about business events, then yes, business process automation tool has its own starting point or intermediate waiting points where different events can be sent to process automation or sent from process automation tool. I believe that about process mining in SAP, it is, at least for now, it is a suggestion to look into Signavio tool. This Signavio tool basically widely used during discovery sessions, and Signavio tool already has predefined processes, and those processes can be already integrated or reused in the process automation build process automation tool.
Thank you for your answer. And let's go further. The next question: what are the common restrictions for using SAP BPA?
So better to go to help portal, and there are certain limitations are mentioned. It is, of course, as it is cloud service, so it has its own rules how the service will be protected. So, for example, you are not able to call quite frequently the API. You have certain calls in your bucket available, and that's mostly the restriction I would like to share. So better to go to help portal, and there is a dedicated page with all the restrictions for BPA.
Thank you. And while you're generating new questions, we encourage you to join our community on other social networks like Facebook, Telegram, LinkedIn, and of course, we are community platform via the links in the chat. So let's go further. Let me see if we have any other questions in the chat. I think that's it for today with the question. Oleksandr, thanks a lot once again for your presentation. And dear colleagues, thanks for participating. As already been mentioned, the recording will be available on our YouTube channel, and the links to the recording will be sent separately. Thanks once again to everyone, and have a nice day.
Thank you.